Hey everyone, welcome to episode 54 of the RetroBreak Podcast. As you can tell by the title, everything is going wrong, so let's just get straight into it. So the first thing is, the video that came out yesterday, as of recording this, my top 20 Game Boy Color games video, took a lot longer than I was expecting to be able to make. So first of all, I was having issues with the analog pocket. So usually I record the games on the analog pocket using the dock, but for whatever reason my controller keeps disconnecting, so I can't record it properly from there. So the second option I had was to use the GameCube to record into the capture card, but again I've been having some issues with that. I can't get the signal to look right on the output, so I scrapped that idea. So I thought instead, what a lot of people do for YouTube, and what is probably the best thing to do, is just to use an emulator. So I downloaded RetroArch and I installed a Game Boy Color core for it, and I was playing through a bunch of games on there, and I recorded all the games using the built-in recorder for the emulator, which I thought would be great. The files look okay, I can preview them just fine. So I went through and recorded all of the 20 games for the episode that I was doing, and that took me about 2 weeks to go through and play them all and capture all the footage. So I was finally happy, ready to sit down and start editing. And as soon as I dragged the footage into the editor, it all started to sort of flash weirdly, and there were like black frames being inserted when I was playing it back in the timeline. So I thought, well, maybe it just can't quite handle the footage in the timeline. I'll try making proxy versions instead. So for those of you that don't know, with video editing, if your editor's struggling to record video, to play back the video when you're editing it, you can do something called create proxy files, and that basically makes a easier to work with version of the video for the editor to work with. So I did that for all of the footage, and then I could edit it perfectly fine. So I was editing away, took another maybe a week to edit everything together, get all the clips that I wanted, find out all the information about the games, get the bit of me talking and put it all in the right place and stuff. So that was all great, and then I switched proxy off, went back to the full resolution clips to try and export it, and it just kept failing over and over again. It said it couldn't decode the footage for whatever reason, even though I could see it fine in the editor. It just would not export whatsoever. So I tried a bunch of different things. I tried using something to change the file format for the video, to do a bit of like transcoding the footage before it went in and replacing all of the clips. So I did that. That took about another day or two to get all that fixed, and it looked okay. I could edit it fine, but it still wouldn't export. So I'm about 3 weeks in now, getting really, really frustrated. And at that point I was running out of space as well, because to create these transcoded versions of the files and create the optimized media takes up a lot of storage space. And I filled up an entire 2 terabyte SD card just with this one video project, and that wasn't enough space. So I tried to clear some space on my 18 terabyte hard drive. So I actually deleted some stuff that I probably wish I could have kept, but I made room. I made about 4 terabytes of free space, and I copied everything over to there. And that took about a day to transfer all footage over there. So I opened up the editor using my external 18 terabyte hard drive to give it a bit more breathing room. And again, it wouldn't render. So I was getting really frustrated. So what I did in the end, I took the basic clips, put them on the internal storage, opened back up the editor, and then using a screen recording software and getting the internal audio from the computer, I literally had to record the preview of the video in the preview window and make that full screen. So I left it running for about half an hour, went away and did something else, came back and watched it. And again, I was having those really annoying black frames being inserted randomly. So this is going to sound so stupid. So what I had to do was leave it recording on loop for about 3 hours, and then take that recorded screen capture, put that back into the editor on a different hard drive that actually had space, and then cut up these 4 different versions of the same previewed end video and cut them so that it didn't seem like the sound was cutting out or anything. And finally I was able to export that, and that is what you can see on YouTube now. So this video has literally taken me about a month of back and forth work trying to get this to work, and I am never recording the games that way again. I'm going back to either the capture card or I'm just going to use screen capture. I'm not relying on any sort of internal emulator recording, because it just did not work at all, for my purposes at least. And I wish I could say that's where the troubles ended and everything's okay now, but there is so much more going wrong. So in the last podcast episode, I talked about how my Sega Saturn broke down and that I was really enjoying playing Panzer Dragoon Saga, and then I couldn't stream it anymore. Well, not only is the Saturn broken, but actually my entire PC has been broken. And that was only a recent thing. Before that, it wouldn't let me stream at all. So I would boot up OBS, I would click go live, and if you've been wondering why I haven't been streaming recently, it's not through lack of trying. I would press go live and it would tell me I'm live, but then I would take a look on YouTube or on Twitch, and I would either just have a black screen, or on YouTube's side it would just be the going live thumbnail, but no actual video or audio or anything, so I have no idea what was happening there. And since then I've been having more and more issues with my Windows PC. So the other day I was playing some games with friends, and I tried to play it again yesterday, and during booting Steam up, the whole computer just decided to switch itself off randomly. And since then, whenever I try and do anything, the entire computer just seems to reboot for no apparent reason. So I spent all day last night trying to get new drivers, get new firmware, reinstall Windows and everything. And it finally seems like things are okay again now. So hopefully that's fixed that issue, but it has meant that I'm not able to capture anything using the capture card, because I did all that on Windows and I just could not get it back up and running. So everything's just been really frustrating for me, and that's why I haven't been able to keep up my regular schedule. And then basically every weekend's been busy, so I haven't had a chance to record a podcast either. And I'm kind of annoyed because I have to go away for work next week, and I probably won't be able to get a video out for next Friday because I'm away for another 2 weeks now. So everything is just piling up on top of each other, and I just feel really, really frustrated about the entire situation that I'm in at the minute. So hopefully things improve. Maybe in November things will be better. So I've kind of written off the rest of this month. So don't expect a video. Don't expect any streams. I'm just going to try and take it easy and fix all the issues that I've got and try and simplify things a bit. And hopefully we'll come out the other side and I'll be back to trying to keep up a schedule, because I was really upset that I had to break this schedule that I'd been planning and trying to keep up with every month, and it's just really not been going well through things that were completely outside of my own control. It's not through lack of trying. So anyway, I'll leave it there for all the issues. There's probably more I could mention, but I might save that for an actual video, because there's a bunch of things going wrong with a bunch of different consoles, and I really don't know what to do. I can't play half the games that are in this room at the minute, so there's a lot, and it's really, really bumming me out, to be honest. So we'll get through it. Anyway, let's move on to the next part of the podcast and try and cheer ourselves up a bit. So some of the games that I've been playing recently, I've been playing the new Silent Hill 2 remake. Well, I played it for one evening, and since then I haven't had access to the PlayStation. So what I've played so far I enjoyed, but it's been about 2 weeks now and I probably forgot how to play it. So maybe I'll just give up on it for now, or maybe I'll go back and play it a bit more, who knows. But I was enjoying it. I think it's a good remake. And the other game that I played, again, for just one evening was Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, but I haven't really had a chance to go back and play on the Switch since then either. So it seems good, again. I just don't really know when I'm going to be able to play it some more. And that's it, really, in terms of games that I've been playing. I did record some stuff for the Game Boy Color video, but obviously that was only like playing things for half an hour and not really getting engrossed in anything. And a lot of that was replaying the same things over and over again because the capture kept messing up, or the files weren't working properly, so I was trying a bunch of different methods to actually record the gameplay and nothing seemed to be working. So yeah, the rest of the time I was really struggling to get through any Game Boy Color games that I had planned. That is it for games. In terms of projects, I'm keeping it very simple. I'm working on my Game Boy Color exclusives video, which is kind of the follow-up to the one that got released last week. And hopefully Apple announces new MacBooks in the near future, because I'm hoping to get a new one. It'll make editing a lot smoother, for one thing, and I'm also wanting to get one with some more internal storage, because 1 terabyte is just not enough for all the things that I do on the computer. So hopefully that comes soon. We can rectify a lot of problems doing that and get everything back on track that way as well. And like I said with the project, everything else is on hold, so I haven't had a chance to look at any game dev stuff recently. I haven't had a chance to look at the book that I was hoping to write. Maybe I will a little bit when I'm away for work in the week. Possibly, but I don't want to stress myself out over it because work's been so stressful in itself. I haven't really had time to think about anything else, and that's why I haven't been playing many games, just because I've been really down about how everything's falling apart at work, and I really want to either find something else or find some way to make it a bit better for me, because it's so frustrating at the minute. Just, I don't know what to do. It's really, really getting me down. Like every evening I can't stop thinking about work and all the annoying things that are happening, and then I just get grumpy and can't sleep and have to go back in the morning, and it's not good for me. Something needs to change. We'll figure something out. What else have we got here? Content. I haven't really been watching much either. I did watch an interesting video about a 20th anniversary Mac when I was looking for when Apple's going to announce their next presentation. So it was pretty cool. It was like the first thing that Johnny Ive designed when he was at Apple before Steve Jobs came back. And it was this really sleek looking, like, stand-up LCD display with a Mac built in, kind of like a modern iMac, but in 1994, which was quite interesting to see. But apart from that, I haven't really seen any gaming videos at all, so if anyone's listening, give me some recommendations for some retro gaming videos to go and watch and try and cheer myself up a bit. So I told you this episode wouldn't be the best one ever, so I'm just glad to have actually found the time to be able to record one. I've got a lot to do, so this will again probably be the last episode for a while, and maybe next year I can try and get everything back on track again. I'll probably do one more episode in November and one in December. I don't want to stress myself out. I've already got enough going on. I need to get everything in order, really. So there we are. That's where we're at. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you all again very soon. Goodbye.